I've heard I want to be a cyborg. I have too much stuff and I don't know how magnets work. The entrepreneur's dilemma, let me explore that with you for a little bit. Really appreciate your time. Twitter handle is @Skanwar if you needed that by any chance. Take everything with a grain of salt. This is just my perspective, having been through the process and getting closer and closer to the deep end as I go along. So this is me. If you can't see me way back there, there I am. By definition, I'm an entrepreneur. By academics, a marketer. By passion, a geek. I'm ultimately a work in progress, and I've spent a lot of time now wholeheartedly at Jack Cooper, and as we go forward, we'll figure out what that becomes. Before that, I spent a lot of time finding a really good technology marketing job, like a lot of time, and I was really passionate about it, and it's really, really important to me. And I didn't quite wear a suit, but they weren't my threadless tees either. And essentially, I was an entrepreneur trapped in an employee's body. So hands please, how many people are like employees just like working somewhere, which is cool, just hands. Entrepreneurs, who thinks they're kind of in limbo, in a little bit of both? Very cool. So I want to tell you how I made that decision and then tell you a little bit about the dilemma. We started by defining success. Well, I started by defining success. Was it financial, career, relationships? What was ultimately most important? And all three wasn't good enough. It had to be one. And I had no idea what the 3 and 5 year mark would look like, but I had like a 10-year snapshot in mind and what the next few months would be. And then I realized things would change. Well, my income would change. Was I trading my time for money or something else? Lifestyle would change. I sure wouldn't have a life. And what people would be around me. Would I be opportunity-oriented or resource-oriented? Like, what was going to go on? So I made this beast, this weird, really interesting diagram, which helped me understand that if I was at a point of confusion, I needed to make a decision. Within 5 years, I needed clarity, and then some level of success would come 10 years later. The left said, this is the corporate world. The right said, here's the cloud of the entrepreneurial world. And the bar didn't meet the success point. So I said, wow, I should probably try the entrepreneurial thing, understanding that I could completely fail, end up back in confusion. So try your own diagram. It really helped. The caveat was, the big footnote, the black hole, and understanding that you think, I'll work for a few years and then I'll go try my own thing. It'll be magical. And you never do it because it's the black hole you follow yourself into. Instead, what you keep chugging along with is that 90% of the world doesn't even consider the question. Most people never consider being an entrepreneur, what I should do or could do. And my good friend Andrew Peake said that once to me and it never left. It was always my reassurance, is that at least I'm thinking about it, and as you should. And I understood at the end of all of this that the real entrepreneur's dilemma was just the choice. Was that inherently inside all of us, we have the capabilities of doing things we love and are passionate about on our own to be sustainable. And our biggest dilemma as entrepreneurial minds was just making that choice. Let that sink in for a bit. I mean, there's nothing that stops you outside of that small decision. It's just a switch. And once you make the switch, you have the means to finding any answer, and everything else looks easy. So what are things that look easy once you decide, hey, I'm going to be an entrepreneur? It's the biggest choice. Funding looks easy. Who, when, what for, it doesn't matter. We're not in a funder's market, we're in an entrepreneur's market. There's so many resources available for you to just do what you please and how you want to do it, using partners and resources and things around you. So it's a dilemma. Fixed costs. We didn't think we had a real business until we hired full-time people, put them in all one office, and bought shiny iMacs. We're like, oh my God, so cool, we have a building! And all of a sudden, it felt really real to us. And it was a long-term sustainable environment for growth and people. My partner and I often talk about a good and bad dollar and the distinction between that. It's really easy to get caught up wherever money's coming, but to take you away from your goals, your competencies, the things you really care about. You need to keep the lights on, but there's so many other ways to do that. So don't chase bad dollars. And people. So important. Whether fact, all of our employees have been hired via Twitter. The last job posting, we didn't even post anywhere but Twitter. 90 retweets later, and we are hiring 4 people. It's beautiful. And ultimately, all of these dilemmas come down to a chicken or egg problem. Fuck it, the answer is chicken. Like, you can't get caught up on what contingencies are involved in what you do. You just have to chase and make your reality what you want it to be. Don't let other things define what decisions you make. Failure is okay, but it's super overhyped. Everyone thinks I gotta fail 1,000 times to do something right. No, every decision counts. Make it like it's your last. Chase it wholeheartedly to your definition of success. Everyone's willing to accept success but failure. I was at the Grow conference in Vancouver a few weeks ago, and in an arm's reach was Tony Hsieh, CEO of Zappos. And all of a sudden I realized there's no difference between us and them. Absolutely no difference. We all have the individual capacity, capabilities, resources, love, heart, and everything to be able to be successful entrepreneurs. And all we have to do is flip the switch, is solve the entrepreneur's dilemma. So I know inside of everyone here, there's a little entrepreneur just crawling around, and you just have to let it free. And here's to that entrepreneur. Contact me anytime. Thank you.